Section 75. Vaisampayana said, "Hear now as I recite the recorded genealogy that is sacred and subservient to a religion, profit and pleasure of these royal sages. Daksha, the lord of creation, Manu, the son of Surya, Bharata, Kuru, and Ajmida. I shall also recite to thee, O sinless one, the genealogies of the Yadavas and of the Kurus, and of the kings of the Bharata line. These genealogies are sacred, and their recitation is a great act of propitiation. That recitation conferreth wealth, fame, and long life. And O sinless one, all these I have named, shone in their splendor, and were equal unto the great rishis in energy. Prachetas had 10 sons, who were all devoted to asceticism and possessed of every virtue. They burnt of old by the fire emanating from their mouths several plants of poisonous and innumerable large trees that had covered the earth, and became a source of great discomfort to man. After these 10 was born another named Daksha. It was from Daksha that all creatures have sprung. Therefore is he, O tiger among men, called the grandfather, born of Prachetas. The Muni Daksha, uniting himself with Virini, begot 1,000 sons of rigid vows, all like himself. And Narada taught these 1,000 sons of Daksha the excellent philosophy of Sankhya as a means of salvation. Therefore, totally abstained from begetting creatures. And O Janamejaya, the Lord of creation, Daksha, then from the desire of making creatures, begot 50 daughters, and he made all of them his appointed daughters, so that their sons might be his sons also, for the performance of all religious acts. And he bestowed 10 of his daughters on Dharma, and 13 on Kashyapa, and he gave 27 to Chandra, who were all engaged in indicating time. And Kashyapa, the son of Marichi, begat on the eldest of his 13 wives the Adityas, the celestials endued with great energy, and having Indra as their head, and also Vivasvat, the son, and of Vivasvat was born the Lord Yama. And Marthanda, Vivasvat, also begot another son after Yama, gifted with great intelligence and named Manu. And Manu was endued with great wisdom and devoted to virtue, and he became the progenitor of a line. And in Manu's race have been born on all human beings, who have therefore been called Manavas. And it is of Manu that all men, including Brahmana, Kshatriyas, and others, have been descended, and are therefore all called Manavas. Subsequently, O monarch, the Brahmanas became united with the Kshatriyas, and those sons Manu that were Brahmanas devoted themselves to the study of the Vedas. And Manu begot 10 other children named Veena, Drishnu, Narishyan, Nabaga, Ikshakush, Karusha, Saryati, the 8th, a daughter named Ila, Prishadru, the 9th, and Nabagarishta, the 10th. They all betook themselves to be the practices of Kshatriyas. Besides these, Manu had 50 other sons on earth, but we heard that they all perished, quarreling with one another. The learned Pururavas was born of Ila. It had been heard by us that Ila was both his mother and father, and the great Pururavas had sway over 13 islands of the sea. And though a human being, he was also surrounded by companions that were superhuman. And Pururavas, intoxicated with power, quarreled with the Brahmanas, and little caring for their anger, robbed them of their health. Beholding all this, Sanat Kumara came from the region of Brahman and gave him good counsel, which was however rejected by the Pururavas. Then the wrath of the great rishis was excited, and the avaricious monarch, who, intoxicated with power, had lost his reason, was immediately destroyed by their curse. It was Pururavas who first brought from the region of the Gandharvas the three kinds of fire for sacrificial purpose, and he brought thence the Apsara Urvashi also. And the son of Ila begot upon Urvashi 6 sons who were called Ayush, Dhimat, Amavasu, and Dridayas and Vanayas and Satyayas. And it is said that Ayush begot 4 sons named Nahusha, Riddhasarman, Rajingya, and Anenas, and the daughter of Svarbanu. And O monarch, Nahusha, of all the sons of Ayush, being gifted with great intelligence and prowess, ruled his extensive kingdom virtuously. And King Nahusa supported evenly the Pitris, the celestials, the Rishis, the Brahmanas, the Gandharvas, the Nagas, the Rakshasas, the Kshatriyas, and the Vaishyas. And he suppressed all robber gangs with a mighty hand. But he makes the rishis pay tribute and carry him on their backs like beasts of burden, and conquering the very gods by the beauty of his person, his asceticism, prowess, and energy. He ruled as if he were Indra himself. And Nahusha begat 6 sons, all of sweet speech, named Yati, Yayati, Sanyati, Ayati, and Dhruva. Yati, betaking himself to asceticism, became a Muni like unto Brahman himself. Yayati became a monarch of great prowess and virtue. He ruled the whole earth, performed numerous sacrifices, worshipped the Pitris with great reverence, and always respected the gods. And he brought the whole world under his sway, and was never vanquished by any foe. And the sons of Yayati were all great bowmen and resplendent with every virtue. And O king, they were begotten upon his 2 wives, Devayani and Sarmishta. And of Devayani were born Yadu and Turvasu, and of Sarmishta were born Drahyu, Anu, and Puru. And O king, having virtuously ruled his subjects for a long time, Yayati was attacked with a hideous decrepitude, destroying his personal beauty, and attacked by decrepitude. The monarch then spoke, O Bharata, unto his sons Yadu and Puru, and Turvashu and Drahyu and Hanu, these words: Hey dear sons, I wish to be young man and to gratify my appetites in the company of young women. Do you help me therein? To him his eldest son, born of Devayani, then said, What needst thou, O king? Dost thou want to have your youth? Yayati then told him, Accept thou my decrepitude, O son. With my youth I would enjoy myself. During the time of great sacrifice, I have been cursed by the Muni Usanes Sukra. O son, I would enjoy myself with your youth. Take any of you this my decrepitude, and with my body rule he my kingdom. I would enjoy myself with a renovated body. Therefore, ye my sons, take ye my decrepitude. But none of his sons took his decrepitude. Then his youngest son, Puru, said unto him, O king, enjoy thou once again with a renovated body and returned youth. I shall take thy decrepitude, and at thy command rule thy kingdom. Thus addressed the royal sage, by virtue of his ascetic power, then transferred his own decrepitude onto that high-souled son of his, and with the youth of Puru became a youth. While with the monarch's age, Puru ruled his kingdom. Then after 1,000 years had passed away, Yayati, that tiger among kings, remained as strong and powerful as a tiger, and he enjoyed for a long time the companionship of his two wives. And in the gardens of Chitraratha, the king of Gandharvas, the king also enjoyed the company of the Apsara Vishwachi. But even after all this, the great king found his appetites unsatiated. The king then recollected the following truths contained in the Puranas. Truly, one's appetites are never satiated by enjoyment. On the other hand, like sacrificial butter poured into the fire, they flame up with indulgence. Even if one enjoyed the whole earth with its wealth, diamonds and gold, animals and women, one may not yet be satisfied. It is only when man doth not commit any sin in respect of any living thing, in thought, deed, or speech, it is then that he attaineth to purity as that of Brahman. When one feareth nothing, when one is not feared by anything, when one wished for nothing, when one injureth nothing, it is then that one attaineth to the purity of Brahman. The wise monarch, seeing this and satisfied that one's appetites are never satiated, set his mind at rest by meditation, and took back from his son his own decrepitude, and giving him back his youth, though his own appetites were unsatiated, and installing him on the throne, he spoke unto Puru thus: Thou art my true heir, thou art my true son, by whom my race is to be continued. In the world shall my race be known by thy name. Vaisampayana continued. Then that tiger among kings, having installed his son Puru on the throne, went away to the mount of Brigu for devoting himself to asceticism, and having acquired great ascetic merit after long years, he succumbed to the inevitable influence of time. He left his human body by observing the vow of fasting, and ascended to heaven with his wives. Thus ends the 75th section in the Sambhava Parva of the Adi Parva.